Reverse Live, Fresh Coast, Gold Shards, Hollister, California, the depths. My favorite drink, personally, I like drinking OE. I don't know why, it's just what I drink. I drink a lot of shitty 40s, but it's my I just broke a lot, so it's okay. If I had to pick something, I really like Kessler whiskey. Smooth as silk. My personal favorite drunk story is because I came out victorious in this. I was in Santa Cruz, and this is when I don't like Mac Miller at all, mind you. At the time, this is when there was these girls from Pittsburgh going to school at Santa Cruz, and me and my homie were taking these girls to a Mac Miller show because they wanted to go or whatever. And I was drinking, I think vodka and Sprite, like out of a fucking Sprite bottle, and we were drinking much before that. And anyway, I had to kill the bottle before we got into the venue, and when we were in line for the venue, I pound the shit. I get to the fucking front, and the fucking guy asked me if I'm drinking tonight, and when I go to say yeah, I just puke all over his chest. Well, at that time, there's also a pizza parlor attached to this place, right? This guy's bringing pizzas up to the security guard, and I try to redirect my puke from this chest to a less disrespectful point, which ended up just being this guy's pizza that he was getting. So I puked all over his chest and pizza. And he says, "Get the fuck out of my club." So me and my boy at the time, at the time I weighed like less and we were like similar size and shit like that. We just went outside and I had a flannel on and he had a hoodie on, and we switched our clothes and hats and we went back to the door separately, and we both got back in on that fucking show. And also that night I tried to walk on stage with Mac Miller's posse, and the security guard ultimate punch double chest checked me back down the stairs. So I didn't win that one, but I got in. Well, I remember at Grizzlemania 1. Apparently drinking in public is frowned upon more in Florida than it is here. But anyway, I was just walking around drinking 32s and shit and like over there, and I remember they were telling me not to do that, like the dudes who were running, like some of the Florida guys. So I went back to the hotel and I was just shit-faced, and then Topper calls me and he swoops me up, and I remember just me and him driving around fucking Florida doing coke and eating Taco Bell in his car while I was faded, and he was just kicking bars back and forth to each other. So that was an interesting time. Topper, what's up, Pops? Oh, it's another drinking story. Oh, I remember one time when I was drunk in San Jose again, and I was over by the campus, and I was drinking at this apartment complex across the street from the campus, and there were these girls above us throwing water balloons at these dudes outside of a party bus, and I tried to fight 4 football players by myself. First time I ever got knocked out, my nose broken. Turns out you can't fight 4 football players by yourself. Drinking and all where I'm from? Yeah. Well, honestly, there ain't shit to do where I'm from, and fools just smoke weed and drink all fucking day. Unless you like tend to cows and shit, or bang a color. Hella biker shit. It's like OG biker town and stuff. My grandpa's actually an OG top hatter and stuff. But yeah, they have a fucking rally every year. Actually, yeah, speaking of drinking, they have a biker rally every year, and I definitely see some interesting shit. I've seen a lot of fights and titties. Like, I saw my first titties when I was like 9 or 10 in real life, thanks to the biker rally. Shout out to the Freedom Rally and titties, 40-year-old titties. One time, my homie, who was being a biatch, and we were at a burrito spot in San Jose here called Muchos, and we were fucking arguing over the table, and I flipped our entire meal table on this fucking guy, and then we went outside, and mind you, this dude's my size, and we just kind of like put our feet against each other and just in like the middle of there was security, and they were not getting in between that shit. It was just fucking clash of the fuck. It was like a Godzilla movie happening. Now every time I go to that burrito spot, that fool's hella happy that I didn't, even though I flipped the table, he fucking, yeah, but like he said, he's glad I didn't fight in there, so now, he fucking, he's down now. But Yeah, we're not friends anymore. I've never done Edward 40 hands, but I remember seeing this dude do Edward 40 hands, right? And he had to piss really bad, so he runs to the bathroom, and you see the door shut, and then you just hear like fucking chaos and breaking of the shit. And I knock on the door. I don't know if he didn't close all the way, but I knock on it and it slightly opens, and he turns around and he's like super sweaty, like sweating, and has his shirt off already somehow, and he goes, "What? I'm good." And then he just slams the door on. I've also seen that guy he was getting kicked out of a party. He fucking set up a 6-pack in front of him that he had, and he told the guy, "If I drink all these right now, you let me stay?" And he's like, "Yeah, if you want." And then he fucking knocks them all back, and the dude's like, "All right, you're good." And then when he goes to like, "All right, thanks for letting me stay," he turns around and just pukes this fat fucking like cannon of puke across this dude's wall. And the dude whose house was, I'm pretty sure he was on drugs, but he was all, "Oh," but he didn't even sound grossed out. He sounded like impressed. He was like, "This is cool." Like, I don't know, it's fucking ridiculous. We was a party at my homie's abandoned house, and let me backtrack. My homie lived in a house with his grandparents, and his grandparents still own the house, and they bought another house up the street and moved in there, but they still own this one. They let us just go drink with their grandson at this abandoned house. We were like, one day we just didn't have shit to do, and we were like, fuck it, let's go to the house and we'll just drink there. This was all his idea. We'll just jump the fence. No one lives there yet. My grandpa won't know. So we jumped the fucking fence, and there's a jet ski that I've never seen before out of nowhere. And we fucking were like, okay, maybe they stashed a jet ski. And then we go around, get into the garage and shit, and there's cars and stuff there. And we see fucking like pictures of a cop. Like there's like fucking cop pictures and all this shit. So obviously we booked the fuck out of there. And then we come to find out later that this dude basically made me break into a cop's house because he didn't know anyone moved into that house. Later that night, same dude made me break into that house, passed out in the middle of his own street, and almost got ran over by a cop car. He fucking passed out drunk in the middle of his street, and a cop car almost ran him over and stopped, and they checked his ID and just took him home, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that same day, I broke into a cop's house once. That's street cred, right?